العالمين سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. This is not transmitting, just let me check. I have. So.
I swear, no one should pull off his hat. I'm telling you, no one. I'm telling you, if you give that hat to Solihull, he's going to look great.
Really nice.
Look. It doesn't work on anyone else's head.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
It doesn't work on anyone else.
You need to go.
Actually, I don't want to. Am I allowed to put it on his head?
I already tried it on. I like it.
Has he washed it? That's what
Like, yeah, it was a shirt, you know.
Right, it's streaming now. It's not. It keeps switching.
That's not how Muhammad thought. Yes. France stuff. France. You're not allowed to do anything Muslim in public, right? Did I hear you correctly?
It's not automatically streaming and we can't get Talha, the expert. It's not automatically detecting.
Keep on streaming.
Recording. No, it should be green here.
No, this is to do with the speed of the internet. There,
Is it streaming on your mobile?
I'm checking.
It was, but it was coming a little bit late.
Next week after
Yeah, there's always a bit of a lag.
There's a bit of lag.
Yeah, because streaming.
All right. So it's getting red here.
It's the internet speed.
Mm.
The kilobytes are quite low.
Right. Okay. So sorry about that. We just have to go back to.
بس بطيء شوي. سرعة الإنترنت البطيء.
Okay, I think saying I'm told it's streaming, but internet is slow. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإذ قلتم يا موسى لن نصبر على طعام واحد فادع لنا ربك يخرج لنا مما تنبت الأرض من بقلها وقثائها وفومها وعدسها وبصلها قال أتستبدلون الذي هو أدنى بالذي هو خير اهبطوا مصرا فإن لكم ما سألتم وضربت عليهم الذلة والمسكنة وباءوا بغضب من الله ذلك بأنهم كانوا يكفرون بآيات الله ويقتلون النبيين بغير الحق ذلك بما عصوا وكانوا يعتدون. صدق الله العظيم. So it's continuation here of Allah gave us a snap of the stories of the sons of Israel, and later he expand on many of them in more details. And here, after they spent time in the desert where they were eating the man and salwa and covered by a cloud from the heat of the sun, and the water was coming out of a stone, gushing fresh and cold, and it was divided into 12 springs for each one of them, the 12 disciples, or the 12 groups. And after spending all this, having not to do anything, not planting, not collecting crops, not hunting, the food was coming to them fresh and holy, and the water was moving with them wherever they go, and they carried the stone with them. In spite of that, they don't want that. And when you listen to the scholars teaching us about the meaning, they say, Ya Musa, وَإِذْ قُلْتُمْ, they say, Ya Musa, and look about the way they don't actually honor their prophet. Our Sahaba, radiallahu anhum, all of them, Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu, Ya Rasulullah. I can't remember any of the Sahaba address him Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, or Ya Muhammad. So even your own father, you say father, you say your own neighbor, you call him with his best name he wants, but they say Ya Musa. Ya Musa, لن نصبر على طعام واحد. Or there's variation of, but because it's the same food again and again and again, they say this food, one type of food. One طعام واحد, we will not be patient eating only one type of food. So فادع لنا ربك. فادع لنا ربك. That's another impolite way of asking. Isn't he your Lord as well? Call your God for us. Like the Christians said, هل يستطيع ربك? Is your God able to? It's even worse. So the way you ask has to be really with respect, really with begging, with humbling yourself. فادع لنا ربك. Call your Lord. When they went to Ayr or Nafir, the Prophet ﷺ was asking them to choose, and they chose the Nafir, and he asked them to say what their view were. So one of them stood up and he said, and he quoted this ayah, not this ayah, another one. Anybody remember? قال والله لا نقول لك اذهب أنت وربك فقاتلا, like the Jewish said to Musa alayhi salam. We will not say to you, go with your God and fight, we are sitting here, but we will say, go you and your Lord and fight, and we will be with you. I was like, so polite and so committed. So here's another way of impoliteness. فادع لنا ربك يخرج لنا مما تنبت الأرض. يخرج لنا. They don't want even to plant anything. Let him plant for us and get out of the earth what the earth give from بقلها وقثائها وفومها وعدسها وبقلها. So وبصلها. So they want Allah Azza wa Jal to bring out of the earth pot herbs cucumbers. Cucumbers قثائها, actually a type of cucumbers which is, it's a lighter green, it's longer than the cucumber and usually curved. أو إتة نابك قثاء, which is it's similar to the cucumbers but nicer sometimes, more crunchy. You can eat it crunchy. إتة باللبنان شو تقولوا له؟ إتة ميتة. قثائها وفومها وعدسها وبصلها. وفومها also, it's the foam, some say it's garlic, some say it's foam, like broad beans, the broad beans and green beans, which is type of بقول. وعدسها lentil وبصلها onion. And I had really quite interesting say why they chose this type of food. وقثائها وفومها وعدسها وبصلها. They didn't choose like the more luxurious food the earth bring, like, you know, the grain and the apple and orange and, like, you know, luxury food and fruit. I said, he said that because when they were in Egypt, they were slaves and they were hardly able to eat lentil and onion and garlic, so they didn't have a lot of it's like when you go to a restaurant, you know, if somebody like me will go and ask for, if I want to spend a lot of money on, say, steak and kidney pie and things, somebody will go and ask for caviar and will have fancy name food. And when you go to a restaurant, they said you can't actually guess what that means, because they have so much, you know, fancy food that and I was talking to one of the rich or super rich. He said, why they don't invite poor with them to restaurant? He said, because, I mean, when we go to a restaurant, he said, it will cost us £600-700. If somebody is living on £600 a month, he's not going to put them for a dinner. So I don't want to embarrass him and take him with us, which is understandable. We went, Abada's friend invited us once to Birmingham, and it was halal Chinese restaurant, and there were so much food which is look nice, it tastes nice, never heard of it, cost fortune, and I couldn't afford to invite him to a matching dinner because, you know, it's not something, you know, we would waste like £500 on inviting a couple of friends when we have so many people in need for our you know. So this is what he said. قال, rightly, Musa alayhi salam.
They missed their food when they were slaves.
Yeah, they missed the food of the slaves, so they want the food of the slaves. They didn't ask for the fancy, because when you eat manna and salwa, it's beautiful food. It's really nice, and the birds usually, especially the birds of salwa and summan and things. I don't think you tried it, my children, but it's really nice meat. Even the small birds, the smaller, the nicer the meat you will find. And he said, you exchange the things which is really have no value, just rock bottom. And when you go to Tesco and Sainsbury, and
The cheapest items.
the cheapest item, the bottom drawer, the bottom shelf, because you will find that 50p and the one on the top shelf 350, because they don't want to put the item, they don't have large margin on it, it's on the top shelf. So I want to sell you whatever, yeah, how much? 50 pence. If you sell it to them for 1p, they will make 49p. But that guy who's selling them for 350, they make £2.50. So for them, they will put the top shelf. So even now, you know, they even supermarket differentiate. And one of the things they have, Lidl and Aldi, they have cheaper food because they have only 6,000 type of food, while Tesco have 36,000 type. So you have so many to choose from. So Musa alayhi salam want to exchange the nice food you have by this, you know, have no value. Okay, go to اهبطوا مصرا. Now Misran, Misr is Egypt. Misran is a province, and could be a province in Egypt, because okay, go back to Egypt. Like Musa said, okay, اهبطوا مصرا. It could take Egypt, اهبطوا مصرا, which you used to live in. Like, عدت إلى مصر, هبطت مصرا, it's Egypt. And could be Misr's province, which is nearer to them. اهبطوا مصرا فإن لكم ما سألتم. You will have what you ask for. You will have what you ask for. And straight away Allah Azza wa Jal followed it by saying وضربت عليهم الذلة والمسكنة. So he said that they were covered with humiliation and misery, and the anger of Allah Azza wa Jal, the worth of Allah, because they were denying the signs of Allah, and they were killing the prophets without any justification. There's not a single justification to kill a prophet, because prophets never lie, never cheat, never make any mistake or sin. They are all ma'soomeen, has been protected by Allah Azza wa Jalla or stopped from even committing any sin, and they only invite people to be good and forbid the evil. But in spite of that, they were killing prophets. They killed Zechariah and they killed his son Yahya in the time of Jesus alayhi salam, Isa. And Isa, his mother, took him to the faraway village because they were planning to kill him. And she married Joseph, according to Barnabas Bible. She married Joseph to protect her and Jesus from being killed by the Jew. When we presented the Bible, Barnabas Bible here. ويقتلون النبيين بغير الحق ذلك بما عصوا وكانوا يعتدون. They were disobedient and they were rebellions, aggressor. And then Allah Azza wa Jalla said, comforting all of mankind, that because what happened, like there will always be the odd one out, or few people who are not really good. So we will say, oh, it's not us, we never did this. So Allah Azza wa Jalla never generalize in the Quran. They always make a room for people who were really good and people who were behaving. And in the same time, he made a law, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, the Muslims. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. It's a statement from Allah Azza wa Jal. وَالَّذِينَ هَادُوا, the Jewish people, because they said, هُدْنَا إِلَيْكَ, we return back to Allah Azza wa Jal. And وَالنَّصَارَى, Nasara, the supporter of Isa alayhi salatu salam. Nasara, like Shia, supporter of Ali. So Nasara, supporter of Jesus. And Shia could be called Nasara, couldn't they? Of Ali. Nasara of Ali. Because from the word Nasara, Yansuru. Like somebody said, I wrote about who is Sharir. I wrote it in Arabic yesterday. I said, do you know that if all the bad people, all the good people kill the bad people, there will be no people on earth? Because who's good and who's bad? Is the good the American or the Russian? Is the good is the Palestinian or the Israelis? Is the good is Quran Muslim or Sisi? Is the good is Bashar al-Assad or Daesh? Is the good is Wahhabi or Shia? Because each one of them say, he is the bad, I'm the good, but he's the bad. So if all the good kill all the bad, there will be nobody. Because this consider that one bad, and that one consider this one bad. وقال فرعون ذروني أقتل موسى ومن معه اقتلوا موسى ومن معه يغير عليكم دينك يفسد عليكم دينك ويظهر في الأرض الفساد. What's the ayah in between? ويظهر في الأرض الفساد. We'll get the ayah. I better remember it, because otherwise I will keep forgetting it. يبدل دينكم. يبدل. وقال فرعون ذروني أقتل موسى وليدعو ربه إني أخاف أن يبدل دينكم أو يظهر في الأرض الفساد. So to Pharaoh, Musa was the wrong one. And he is changing their religion. Which is, first he didn't say change your religion. He said let the sons of Israel go out back with me. You stay whatever you want and let sons of Israel be freed and go back with me. But he accused them he will change their religion and will cause mischief on earth. So who's the real one who is bad? So here Allah Azza wa Jal is comforting everybody. إن الذين آمنوا والذين هادوا والنصارى والصابئين whoever آمن بالله واليوم الآخر وعمل صالحا آمن بالله واليوم الآخر وعمل صالحا فلهم أجرهم, they believe in Allah and the hereafter and do good deeds, they will have their rewards with their Lord, and there is no fear for them, and they will not be sad or grieved. So that's very useful when you meet people. Say, what about the Jew? Will they go to Jannah or not? What about the Christian? What about the Hindu and Sikh? Saying, Sabi'ina include those who left their own original good religion. Sabi'ina. There's another one, Sabi'una, as well. والصابئين here he made it عطف على الصابئين على اليهود والنصارى. By the other ayah والصابئون إن الذين آمنوا والذين هادوا والصائبون والنصارى. He made the صابئون here as a separate group standing alone between the Jewish and the Christian. And that could include all those who split from correct religion and followed something they invented or deviated or changed. Sabians. I don't know whether this could, because the Christian do not consider the Mormon as a Christian, and they don't consider the Christian Scientists Christian. They wouldn't. They would take them as non-Christian. So they could be Sabi'in, could be classified under Sabi'in. Whoever believe in Allah and the hereafter and do good deeds, they have فَلَهُمْ أَجْرُهُمْ عِنْدَ. They will be rewarded, and no fear for them and no grief. Why he didn't include they should believe in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Because this was before what's name? It was related to previous nation before Islam came. The people before Islam came, they used to be these people. Whoever those people did good deeds, they will go to Jannah. But when Muhammad came, he came with Islam, and all religions wouldn't be accepted in front of Allah other than Islam.
But in this ayah, he didn't say. He said الذين هادوا والنصارى والصابئين هو من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر. And the other ayah والصابئون إن الذين آمنوا والذين هادوا والصابئون والنصارى من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر وعمل صالحا فلا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. Similar ayah, but he put the الصابئون as a group standing alone without عطف on Christian and Jew. Any other contribution? He didn't include the prophet.
But that under Sabi'un.
Yeah, he's saying Hadu, the Jew, and Christian, and Sabi'in, whoever believe in Allah and the hereafter. I didn't say whoever believe in Allah and Muhammad and the hereafter.
Those who believe in the Quran, they believe in the Quran, believe in the Prophet because he's the one who's giving the message and revelation of the Quran.
Because those who believe in the Quran,
They believe in the Prophet.
yeah, but the Jew will not believe.
Because if the Jew believe, they become Muslim.
I mean, is that not specifically for the pre-Islamic Jews and Christians? Is it the ones?
But the ayah stand now. Included the Muslims at the beginning.
Will it just represent anyone who believes in Allah and the Day of Judgment, meaning anyone from like the Jews, Christians, and Muslims?
If they believe in Allah and the hereafter, they will go to Jannah. Yeah. This ayah here, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَبْتَغِ غَيْرَ الْإِسْلَامِ دِينًا فَلَنْ يُقْبَلَ مِنْهُ وَهُوَ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ.
Because they've all believe in the same thing, it's been slightly altered because of it's been the Jewish scripture and the Bible has been corrupted, so it's still the same thing. It's just it's been.
He wasn't talking about their Bible and Torah. He was talking about the group who called themselves Jew, the group who called them Christian, the group who called them Sabi'in. If they believe in Allah and the hereafter and do good deeds, they will go to Jannah.
But they still believe in. They still do believe in like one God, which is Allah. So
if they believe in Allah,
they have some sort of.
Yeah, they must believe in Allah. Yeah, and وَمَنْ يَبْتَغِ غَيْرَ الْإِسْلَامِ, he didn't say whoever didn't follow Muhammad, the one who never submitted to Allah Azza wa Jal in full will not be accepted from him. So believing in Allah Azza wa Jal is the most important one. Once you believe in Allah Azza wa Jal, the only one, without associating any partner with him, whether Jesus or Rama or Krishna or the cow or Uzair or whatever, or your nation, we are the chosen nation, sons of Israel, the chosen nation. If you believe truly in Allah Azza wa Jal, believing in Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and all the prophets become piece of cake. Dead easy. And I've tried it more than 50, 60 times, people who became Muslim. Really. The minute they really believe La ilaha illallah with the descriptions of Allah Azza wa Jal, the Wahid, the Ahad, the Fard, the Samad, and the Cherisher, the controller, the one who knows all the hidden and seen in the future, and he's the first and the last. The minute you go through the names of Allah Azza wa Jal and his description, his sifat, and you will find the person is, I believe in Allah Azza wa Jal. Would you like to believe Jesus, he is a messenger of Allah? Yes, he is a human. Would you like to add Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? No problem. And that by trial and error. I mean, I'm personally 100% convinced, because it happened to me many times. I never say to people, believe in Muhammad Rasulullah. I say, believe in Allah. La ilaha illallah. And keep discussing who's Allah, who's Allah, who's Allah, who's Allah, who's Allah, who's Allah. Could be 6 months, 6 weeks, whatever. And then once they believe in Allah Azza wa Jal, he is able to send all these messengers, no problem. When Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam went from Mecca to Jerusalem and to Mi'raj, he didn't speak about Mi'raj. He said, I went last night from Mecca to Jerusalem and back. They came to Abu Bakr, he said, you're lying. He didn't say that. They said, we'll bring him, he will say it to you. He said, if he says it, he's telling the truth. I said, how come? If we say, he said, he's telling me Allah Azza wa Jal sent him the message from above 7 heavens and he's able to do all these things. I wouldn't believe that this mighty God is able to take him from A to B and back. So the minute you believe Allah Azza wa Jal, the mighty, the controller, the one in charge, the one who's doing all the things, the minute it becomes easy for you to believe that he sent Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The Christian, because they think Jesus is God, it's difficult for them to accept Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. When we had the interfaith dialogue, our sister Catherine, she said in the Christian Chronicle, which is the magazine spread in Solihull from the church, Simon Lloyd wrote there that Dr. Gharnam belittled Jesus. And why I belittle Jesus? Because I say he's a human. He said he's reducing him from God to a human. But the minute you accept Allah Azza wa Jal without a partner, Jesus is a human, like you, like me, and Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is a human, and Allah Azza wa Jal chose these humans to be messengers. It's easy. People will believe in Muhammad Rasulullah. Now,
Were there any prophets between Isa alayhi salam and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
is there any difference between Isa alayhi?
Were there any prophets between them?
No, between Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Isa, no.
So
Isa alayhi salam said in Surah As-Saf, وَمُبَشِّرًا بِرَسُولٍ يَأْتِي مِنْ بَعْدِ اسْمُهُ أحمد. So the messenger coming after me is called Ahmad, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Isa alayhi salam is the last prophet or the last? Yeah.
The one before the last. The one before the last.
Because they don't believe in Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
No, they don't want to believe in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam because that will reduce Isa to human. Because Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says he's son of man. He's created by Allah Azza wa Jal like everybody else. إن مثل عيسى عند الله كمثل آدم. The example of Isa with Allah Azza wa Jal like the example of Adam. خلقهم من تراب ثم قال له أو كن فيكون. Created them from earth and he said to him be and he became. So because of that, why they don't want us to believe that Jesus is the man? That's a good question for GCSE.
What's the question?
Why the Christian don't want to make Jesus a man? We want to keep him as Son of God. Yeah.
Maybe because then nobody has sacrificed for their sin, so their sin they have to answer their sin. At the moment.
Yeah, he's not. He was, according to their thinking, he was crucified to clear all their sins, and then that will not be cleared. Yeah, one answer, yes.
Because like all of the things that have happened, if it wasn't for Isa alayhi salam being like they call him son of God, if it wasn't for that, they would basically be the same as Muslims, and they don't want to be.
Yeah, they don't want to be Muslims because all these happened. Like what? All these things happened like.
How he was crucified and all of those things that aren't actually true. Like,
yeah. Yeah, and you have another answer?
Maybe financial things.
Yeah, could be financial. Yeah.
Because they've changed the Bible to be like part of them, and so it like suits their desire.
But saying that Jesus is a human, what will make difference to the Bible?
No, because Bible never claims that he was a God.
When you
That's what they say.
yeah, when you say to them like Jesus never committed a sin, what will they say? He's God. He's Son of God. He's God. He never owned much. He only had comb and he threw it away, and he had only, but never had any, grab to things. They would say, "Oh, he's the Son of God. He can do it."
It's like Mushrikin, yeah. They ask why Allah didn't send the angels instead of prophet. Allah says, if I send angels, it's like
they will look like human. They will like
yeah.
But here, if you say to them, "Why are you doing this?" Because you're human. Jesus never did it. Yeah, he's Son of God. I can't be God. Make me Son of God. I won't do it. So when they raised him to give themselves the right to do whatever. Because we are human.
Okay.
We can't drink. They drink alcohol. They commit adultery. They do this and that. And so we are human. We can't commit God. Jesus didn't do it because he's. While for us, it's Muhammad like us. محمد رسول قد خلت من الرسل قل إنما أنا بشر مثلكم. I eat like people eat and sleep like people sleep. He was suffering twice as much. So, and in spite of that, he was generous, he was obedient, he was committed, he was helpful, he was, forgiver. He was, and we never said he's an angel. We say he's a human like us. But as a human, he's able to do it. So we have no excuses not to copy him. While they take excuses, oh, why are you not copying Jesus? Oh, he's the Son of God. He's like we say to him, if I say to you, why you're not living in a mansion house? Charles is living in a mansion house. He's a king. I can't. So
you're saying I can't use him as a role model
because he's Son of God. Yeah.
That.
Yeah, you can't say take him as a role model. No, we can't because he's God. Okay, وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. We'll have to move to the